Using alerts in Bootstrap gives you the ability to send messages and feedback for user actions. This is where alerts are used, and we see that typical what we've seen before, where we've got success, info, warning, and danger. So these are the ability to set up different colors for the various alerts. So let's open up our editor and start creating some alerts. And just like with anything in Bootstrap, we can actually update it as any type of element that we choose. So I'm going to get rid of these images so they're not actually interfering with what we're trying to do here, and see that whenever we're presenting, actually I'm just going to get rid of that part there. So if, for instance, we've got a bunch of paragraphs here, and I should pull out this text right as well. So we've got a bunch of paragraphs here, and now we want to add in and transform them into alerts. So paragraphs, sometimes you may or may not want to use them as alerts. So typically you might see that we're using divs as alerts, but with Bootstrap it makes it the ability to apply it to any element. So we are going to use paragraphs in this time. So class alert, and we can see there's a slight transformation of the content. And I'll just show you what the difference between the divs and paragraphs is. So do you think it's actually going to look different when we apply the alert styling? And just show you what happens. So again, with Bootstrap, important to keep in mind that it actually doesn't make any difference what, or for the most part, what element we're using, what tag we're using, because the transformation is done via the class. So it adds in that class option and transforms it into an alert the same way. So, and as I said, with alerts, we have various colors that are available. So we've got the option to do an alert of success. So this is that greenish type background. We also have an alert of info or danger. So maybe this one will just do danger so that we have some differences there. And as you can see, this really nicely stands out for web users and gives them the ability to really see that this is an alert. We can also, what we can do as well, we can add in links within the alert as well. So much like what we would do typically, so you might have something like a link here. So I'm not going to link it out to anything, but just so that we can see that link, we have a link within the alert, and we see that it still comes out and looks like a regular link. And if it's an alert, then we actually really want it to stand out. So this is where we would add in a class of alert link, and which makes it in line with the parent color of green. So, and even if we had that same link, and if we copied it into here, we see that now, what color do you think it's going to be? So it's a darker red. So again, a lot of it's done really for us, and it gives us the ability to really bring these types of features and functionality out. So also within alerts, so you might have these alerts showing up, but you might also want to give the user the ability to dismiss that alert. So this is also available within Bootstrap. So I'm going to transform this to a div, because usually with alerts I like using divs instead. So we've got a div here, and we've got some content. So let's first of all transform it into an alert. And we're going to give it an alert. And how about we just do primary alert? And we also want to give it a role as an alert, and this will help the JavaScript or the jQuery differentiate that this actually has some kind of content that we want to apply to it. Actually, just realized that there is no primary alert, so it's actually info. So this is one of the cases that it doesn't have all 5 of the colors available in Bootstrap for. So in this case, there's only the 4 that are available. So we've got the info, the danger, the success, and the warning. So maybe I'll make another one that has warning so that we cover off all 4 different available class colors that are available within Bootstrap. So as I said, we've specified that it's an alert, and we also have the ability to add in that jQuery. So let's first of all add in the Bootstrap jQuery. So we don't have Bootstrap for jQuery in here, so we need to add in jQuery, and then we need to add in that Bootstrap 4. So we only have Bootstrap 3. So let's go over to Bootstrap and pick up our Bootstrap 4 jQuery, CDN. And we also notice that also take into consideration that we need to include tether as well into our jQuery in order to work to function properly. So that's one of the other resources that you need to include within Bootstrap 4. So previously in Bootstrap 3 we didn't have to include that. So let's open up our CodePen, and we're going to add that. And then lastly, let's pop back over to here and add that Bootstrap CDN. And this is just the web file, so that we actually have that functionality in place. So now whenever we save it, now we've got the full Bootstrap functionality available within our alerts, and now we can add the ability to actually dismiss these alerts. So we need to make this a little bit bigger, and so we can add that dismissal within the classes. So this is alert, and all we have to do is add in the class that takes care of this, and this is for Bootstrap 4. So Bootstrap alert dismissible. And we also need to add in a button here in order to create that option to dismiss. So we can do this in a number of different ways. So this time I'm just going to use type button and give it a class. So this is going to be another built-in class within Bootstrap, where we are building a class of close and data dismiss, so that we can tie all of the jQuery functionality together. So it's dismiss, not dismass, and the functionality is going to be an alert. So it's going to actually dismiss the alert, and we need to add in the area label. So this adds in that the label for the button that's going to be closing off the alert, and we're just going to type in close there. And here we can specify, so it's a button, so we'll just put an X there for now. And let's save that. So now we see we've got this button to close it, and when we click it, the alert actually disappears. And we can do the same thing where we can really easily add it to all the other ones as well. And we just need to specify role alert. So that one has role alert, and make sure that you do include your jQuery in these in order to get that functionality here. So now when I save it, oops, and I did put the colors by mistake, so do need to remove them. So I was wondering why they were all going yellow. So that would be the case. So now we've got dismissible alerts, fully functional, and just by simply adding in classes, we get all this really nice, cool functionality within Bootstrap. So in the next lesson, we're going to look at another critical component of any website, and that's the navigation bar. So as I say, critical because without a navigation bar, your users aren't going to know where to go. So navigation bars within Bootstrap are also made easy, and they give you the real ability to create these really fully functional navigation bars that present well to the user. So I'm going to show you how to set those up in the next lesson.